Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with Blockchain. I'm your host, A And so here we go. Here's the other segment. I'm going to be talking back about Gnome series. The game has launched in beta, maybe for about 2 weeks now. What can I say about it? Interesting as hell. This is now the PvP type of game that is a little different from what we were just showing before. And like I said, if people wonder what PvP, I always think of it almost similar to essentially a deck of cards. You can play, you have a deck of cards from ace to the number one playing card, or sometimes even the Joker. And there's various styles of games that you can play with the same deck of cards. Now, what's happening in the metaverses of games right now, they're creating their own set of decks, if the best way I can describe it. And again, with different powers, applications, attributes, all kinds of different things, elements. And then it's up to the players now to kind of mix and match these decks and sets and then compete against another player. Gnome Cities is doing similar to that. And I hope I'm doing justice in kind of clarifying that. And they're expanding. They also bring in other projects into the place as rewards, and we'll showcase some of that as we go through here. So I've been showing a bit of the cards. I've been showing not cards, but the NFTs and a bit of the blending. I'll again get into it a bit more here as well. But I kind of had to delist my unit, I should say, because I've been getting slaughtered for the last couple of days. If I go through the ratio between win and lose, literally it was a slaughterhouse. I'm very happy this is in beta, but we're just now going to go through the interface quite quickly. So we're looking right now at the main interface of what's almost like a dashboard, and you have several components that they're filling in as the game develops. So you have the hub, you have the city components that will come in, play any news and updates, how to play, even more details on that. The leaderboards, who's the most wins, the highest level, the biggest loser. I'm probably in that category right now. Wait till you see my charts so far. The current collections that are in place. You have the complex series, you have the gnome series, and then there's other factors that'll be introduced later, and then of course the promotions moving forward. So now if I look at the lineup, at my current stats, this is what I've pulled out. They're not in my lineup right now. Like I said, I had to kind of pull them in. I had to kind of look at reevaluating what the team is, because as I said, it's just been complete slaughterhouse. The Explorer City that'll be coming soon. The storyboard, which I'm going to show first and foremost, and then we'll get into other elements before I introduce back into the lineup. The PvP mode. Here's the selection. This is what it has been. You can see all this red. Horrible outcomes thus far. Like I said, you can go back to your lineup if you want to go back to your lineup here, and see how you could bring your cards in, and only if the card has a level that you will be able to see them here. But again, we'll get back to that. You can apply the skills as well, so you can level up the gnome series, and again, depending on how our timeline's moving, I'll probably do a show a level up here with applied skills. I'll probably show the pets that have been used as a, I guess, a staking reward for experience. So yeah, we'll touch into all that. The pet staking. These are the pets I have right now, which then you're capped at 48 hours. After those 48 hours, you assign the awards or claim the awards to your selected NFT. And I'll show that in a moment. And then your bonuses, which is new, that was just something that was recently put in place. And then these are assets that you have that you can also stake, and then have it been applicable to your gnomes or the experience breakdown. So I'm assuming later on, as it goes through, you can allocate where the bonuses are applied. and which is correct. So I don't have any portrait, but I do have some complete complex stories, which is right here. I don't have the portraits, which again, if you've gone through their kind of collection and catalog, you'll see what those portraits NFTs are. And then is the checklist, so you can find out where you are in terms of what assets you have. And I don't have many of the high-end assets, and there's certain ones that I have several for of. I think my highest is this Joka, and that will be my green. I don't have a rainbow. I think I have a gold somewhere. I thought I had a gold, but it might not be on this list. I thought I did. Maybe not. Okay, so let's now go back to the top. So that's a quick overview. We're in the hub of itself. If I go back to the main page, this is now my main page, my main account. You can see the wins and losses. Don't worry, that'll keep allocating and counting up as it goes. Because right now I haven't put my team back into the lineup. This is now the trainer that I have selected, but you can see as of yesterday, this is the battles and a complete disaster. Like it's just horrible. I haven't done a story, in which we're going to do right now. We're going to look into the story mode, and we'll kind of go through those little steps, and we'll see how everything pans out. Now, one thing I want to emphasize as well, and I've lost a few bit of points here because at least at one time I had 100. I think I've dropped in levels because it's been performing so poorly. If you're playing this game on a Mac, and you want to be able to use Chrome versus Safari. So I'll click on the Safari one just for a reason. On the sidebar here, if I click it, you don't see the title right here. It kind of gets cut off. And now I did put in a support ticket for this, just as I guess for their knowledge, so they can address it when needed. But you can see what my actual performance is here on this page. This is what I had to kind of open up a while back, and you can see that the losses are just way too high. So I'm just going to close that now and go back to my Chrome. And so the Chrome, when you click on it, you see on the screen that the text information pops up and it shows you what's going on. So now let us now go through our storyboard. Here, the city, story mode. So now they're in story mode 1 or season 1. So at the time, I did not have any of the required NFTs in which to explore what the whole story experience was about. So I went intentionally and bought a Runome because I thought I had a pink parallel, but I didn't. I had other colors, and just to test this. But what is very important to really take note, you see this very highlighted clarity here. It says, please check assets for story use attribute on Atomic Hub. If the attribute equals 1, you can no longer use it in story mode. So they're in story mode season 1. If any of these are been used, you can't apply it. So when you're making a purchase here on the market, if I were to buy this root gnome right here and I look on the details, whoops, it just flashed over. It tells me story used 1. I can't use a story mode. Now I can use it for battles and anything else, but if I want to apply it to a story feature, this will not work. So again, it's something to really watch out for if you're buying assets, that you paid attention to all these little details, because it can affect your outcome if it's something you're looking to do. So then back to the game, you can also look at what the pool is in doing these story mode. So you can go in and you can find out what's on the roster to be collected. So now they got the Funko cards from the recent release. They have Muhammad Ali in the recent release. So these are the things that you can have a chance of receiving in the story mode, or story mode execution once you've gone through that. So whoops, that's not what I want to do. Oh, let's hold on, let's pause, let me get back to that. I didn't think it will. Sometimes it opens in a new page and other times it doesn't, so just bear with me there for a second, and we're back on. Okay. So I haven't completed any stores. You can see incomplete's 9, complete 0. I don't have any of these assets, so I went and purchased one. The asset I do have, if I look at mine right now, here's the one I purchased, and it was in battle, but there's no story mode. So the story mode option is not it has not been utilized. At least I hope not. But that's what I try to pay attention to as particularly as possible. So let's go through the details. I even went through the details specifically, and I saw nothing that said story. So it's gone through battles. It has 8 wins, 8 losses, 9 wins. Its health is about 13. Um, these are all those kind of skill sets where it's sitting. It's a level 3. I mean, I may use it later on as part of my collection in terms of the battle, and I'll show you that in a moment. But now I can apply it to the story mode. So I'm going to enter story, and I'm going to say yes. It's going to check my wallet, and CPU time is now maxed out. What are the odds of that? Okay, so let's now hope I could get through everything else, and I'll come back to this afterwards. So now let's try something else. What they also have been doing in their great way of trying to eradicate bot control, or minimize the impact from bots, is that they tried something new recently, which is the super blend. And I kind of like it, I have to say. So what it meant is that you were buying this particular asset, what's called the let's go to the drops, and I have to see if they still have them. And if not, I would have to go through a different. It's a little chip, and it's not there. Sometimes you wish you had all this pages open, and probably sold out. And let's see. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Nope. I do apologize. It's not there. It's a chip that was part of their collection. So I'll go through this super blend right now. And I'll find it through the super blend. So here's the super blends. So what's kind of interesting in this approach is that you now have to buy an NFT, and then from that particular NFT, only does it give you access to blend something else from the whole series of attributes they have. So we already know what blending is, but what they've done a little differently. Instead of selling out the pack, where there's a chance of X and B and all these variances, and you see those percentages generally, right? They're now said, okay, now we're opening up the pack, but in order for you to have the chances of having these packs, so you're gonna have to blend them with this particular NFT. So it kind of reduces the scalping attributes, because it requires now 2 actions. It requires the action of having this particular crafting NFT, or the ingredient needed to craft an NFT, and then making the blend to have the chance or the opportunity to gain these rare NFTs, or even a comment. So what was interesting is that here's these NFTs. If I wanted to, I could go on Atomic Hub if they're still available, and right now they're on auction. These are the ones that are left. That means that they're probably sold out, and these are now the secondary market. I will have to go and research if they are indeed actually sold out or not. But what the whole point is now that I can blend these, and now I have an opportunity to have access to any of these cards. So instead of buying the pack and then unpacking, I'm looking at all the NFTs that are right there ready to be had, but it now have to apply a specialized chip and say, okay, let's kind of roll the dice. Let me see if I can have the luck of the draw, which I'm going to do right here, and blend the NFT. blend successful. Now if I go to my wallet, go to my inventory, and I got a fragment. So the fragment NFT, which was, now I'll go here. Where is the fragment? There we go. Here's the fragment NFT, and that's what I just was able to blend. Now, of course, the highest the rarity, which would be the gold, the allure, and the other allure. So it's a golden diamond hands, or I should say points, and Betsy the witch. I would just imagine. So these are all now the insanity and the shiny legendary. These are the scales up that you really want to try to get. So of course, the more blends, your odds increase. So, but I kind of like that because again, it encourages more engagement from the user base, and then at the same time, kind of addresses the whole botting issues and challenges that we have ongoing. So let's see what happens from there. Now let's try this again. Maybe I got my CPU issues addressed, and okay, there we go. Let's see. So I got 63 experiences earned. Close that. I've completed one story right now. Now, what did I receive from that? Okay, let's take a look. Let's do a click refresh. And I received a Fruiton Buck Art Ball NFT. Now, which is nice. But now let's take a look at that NFT that I did use. It should now state that it's been applied to a story. So even if I put it on the market, the story's been used. It cannot be used again. So it's something to be very cognitive of when you're playing this game, or any NFT asset that you go through in the future, that you really kind of pay attention to the assets if you're looking to acquire any of these story equations and move forward with it. So so far I've done 1 out of 9. I've got 8 more to go. We'll see what happens from there. Okay, so now let's look at the disastrous of my battles. You see, my lineups have been very poor. And somehow this has been completely brutalized. So what I pulled out. I said, okay, I'm going to try to look at kind of shaking up the team a bit more. So I'm going to wait till things load here. Pet staking. Why is this not showing? We were there just a moment ago. There we go. But if for a moment, I'm going to go back to Nifty Blocks, and I'm going to look at the Nifty Blocks collection, and I'm going to unpack another pet, and so you can see that in a moment. So I'm in a Nifty Blocks. I'm going to go to my gallery. I'm going to go now to the complex series. So I'm going to click here. These are my NFTs, but now I want to look at my packs, and I'm going to unpack another pet pack, and I'm just going to see what's there. Open. And why? Sometimes this is so weird how this kind of glitches out. So more bat, 5 power, but again, it's just enough now to add to the arsenal. I have my unclaimed plaques. Okay, I have nothing unclaimed here. Then I could go back and go now to the regular Nifty Blocks collections. Go to my collections, go to GNOME series. So I got 3 more cards in there. I'm going to go to the packs, and who am I going to open up right now? I'm going to open up a barnyard pack. It's going to be five more gnomes. Very annoying, wax. Sometimes it just does not work in your favor. Now all the gems will be coming into use at a later date. We got a dark epic, fragment, fragment, and base card, and experience in the gem. So we know what we have in terms of assets. So let's go back to Gnomes series. I have my pets. I'm going to now apply this claim because I added new pets recently. Have this refresh, and then it'll boost my earnings for 48 hours. But let's now make the claim on to a. I'm not sure who's going to put it on yet, but let's find out. Now, don't mind sometimes when you're playing it that the game doesn't always show up and show the visual. Like I said, here's the visual bug. There's certain things that are just delayed. Sometimes a refresh helps, and hopefully I can get that claim going. So now these, you know, just finish when it finishes toweling. And I have 3 pets on stake. So remember the 3 pets I receive, those are ones I haven't staked yet. But now I'm just trying to get to the point where I can show you the claim function. And it seems that we're not being able to do that. So I have to do that at oh, there we go, claim now. Sometimes I forget which stage to do it. Okay, so this is one character. This is basically the character that's been doing the most work, which is Miss Jonka. I'm level 10. I'm at level 3 here. I'm just going to apply to uncommon villain and stake there. That I think would be the best point that I can. And right now you can't specify which skills. It will just automatically go to the one NFT that you selected. I think at the later date they're going to allow you to readjust or kind of allocate accordingly and a little differently, but right now that is this threshold that they've put in place. So I've now created a different team set. I'll be looking to modify it again a little bit later. But what I want to do as well is that I want to kind of level up some of these players. So I'm now going to switch over to the apply skills category. So you can always level up allocated earnings. This is what I showed you for the portrait and the complex story areas, and I just have to allow that to kind of generate enough. You can apply skills to the a complex series, which I had just done. So I'm going to scroll to get to the NFT section here. Versus the actually gnomes or the complex series characters, if I can. There we go. So if I go through the villains, common, no, then I go through let me see if they're there. So right now this is a level 6. I can level this character up, and I can look for an assassin. So let's see if I have any skills that show an assassin skill. And I can always search for that skills as well. So hopefully, if this is being kind of nauseous, give it a few seconds, close your eyes, and I'll tell you when I'm just about to make the assignment here. So I have the rare assassin, then I can apply. I have the super bonus assassin I can apply. I have the bonus assassin skill. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the bonus assassin skill for a moment. And I'm going to select Rebel Bell, level up, and apply there. And then I know in that category, that NFT now has been powered up. So if I go back to my apply skills, and I'm going down to the GNOME series category, and I have to look at the team that I have. So I'm going to go back and scroll down again. I apologize for the jump. Remember, these are now the assets I just received. But if I'm looking at my players that I have, so if I go back to my lineup first, I should really say, this is what I have in my lineup right now. And I'm looking at this gnome's characteristics. Right now, I know I could probably add an assassin skill there. I can add to combat and willpower. So I think I'm just going to do a little bit boost there, and then maybe another two further on. So I name my Miss Jonka. Apply the skills. It'd be cool if you could do that right inside where it is. So you're not coming out of that category to come here and scroll. Maybe I'm missing something, then maybe you can. I'll try this for the next one. So let's do a search by name. So this is the category. I know I'm going to level up. I'm going to look at another assassin. So I know I have an assassin, a soda. So I'm going to apply that. So the soda is like, the song, Time for a Soda. This is, I think it's kind of like a nice booster. Again, dating myself. And this is now the skill that I apply here. Give that character boost. Then we're boost there. We need to boost the combat. And let me see what I'll do with the combat. I might do the 50% or soda, but let's find. So let's do the 50% first. Select skill. And there we go. So I'm kind of better there. I'm going to go to one more of my lineup. So I had a baseball, I had my hockey. Hockey's 8. So I'm going to add combat and awareness. So I'll add those two skills there. And I'm going through this again just so it's something that you see. And again, your set of cards, or say your set of NFTs, your team of NFTs will be very different. But it's all about how they randomly play out. And it's showcasing that. So yeah, I'm showing you my hand. Doesn't mean you're going to be playing against me. We don't know, and you don't know that after this if I'm going to add anything else to it. What else am I going to add? What cards I'm going to change up the lineup? I'm adding different players and trying to find the best combination to improve on this ratio of losses. There we go. So now what we're going to do is go back to now the lineup. And what you want to pay attention to is it's advised that you go from the highest levels to the lowest. So I'm going to start with my Miss Janka selected in the lineup, save it to lineup, and approve. And close. Now, the previous battle, they were in healing mode, so they have to continue that healing mode. That's why you're seeing them in red. This is the same thing. Select the lineup, and if you're wondering how I know this is the level, Miss Jenko was 10. This is level 8. I'm gonna put them in the save in the lineup and approve. And like I said, this is all for show. I'll have to go and find my other magic cards at a later date and modify as I move forward. Select the lineup. So when you do select the lineup, it pops up in the top screen, and then you save the lineup. This won't require any healing because this is a new injection up to the team, and save. It gets it updated. Actually, it will be healing because the whole team's being healed. Then I have Bay Gnome, select the lineup, which will then pop up here in the top, save to lineup, and approve. Then I'll have the last one. Select to in lineup, save to lineup, approve. So now the team is going to be going through the healing phase. If I go to my story section, later on we'll be able to look at what happens with the trainers and how you can help the trainer. And I believe that's where the gems will come in across. These are areas in which you can send messages to different players. You can look at what they're doing if they're offline. Whoops, that you just selected them. Here, everyone's offline for the moment, and you can look through if there's anyone who's green. I can see anyone's green. Yeah, I got nobody green here at the moment. But this is where you can have in-chat messages. So you're staying in the game quite a bit, which is, again, really, really nice thing about it. So it'll be interesting when all these other features come into place. If I turn on the bonuses, where the staking's done, I haven't staked, so I can stake them all now. And go, whoops, that's not what I want. Not on stake. I want to stake all and approve. So now the story lines are now all being staked, and whatever ratio rate that they will happen to be. So depending on where you are in the number sequence, this is what you'll be able to receive in the story. So everything's been calculated quite extensively. What your rates of return, if you want to call it that. And it's a good way in which to keep players engaged. Let me see what else I wanted to show you. Explore City, no. That's the lineup. So the dash cell. The health factor that will come in later. The level portion that will come in later. The power. All these factors will be coming in. That's coming in at a later date. We went through all this in the top portion of it. And I guess that would be one of the most wonderful things. What else can you do here as your players are going through their healing process? So I can't do a battle, but maybe I can look at staking or, again, applying skills to other assets that I have, and then preparing a larger roster of different cards in order to play and increase these battles. So that's what I'll be doing. Again, after this recording, I'm going to look at some of the cards or other NFTs and say, okay, who else now can I bring into the battle here and try to level up. Now, in terms of blends, one thing you want to be able to do, or at least consider doing, is now looking at how you can upgrade your cards if you have to. So it's the beta series cards. You could get a base card if you're evil. If I go back to the willpower, what do I need for the willpower? If you need this particular 100 XP card. You can find that on the market if you wanted. But then there's other blends. These other blends are like just 5 of the single ones. You create 5 XP. Again, it helps keep your kind of database clean, so you're not scrolling for all different 5. If you want to do a boxing gnome elite, what's the missing ingredient for that? Then it's the epic card. If you want to buy the epic card, again, you go to the Atomic Hub or Atomic NFT, and then you find there's no listings for that. So it's now on a waiting list where that's concerned. If I go back to blends, and wait for it to refresh. The 3-pack, what's a missing ingredient there is this pass. I don't have that pass. And that's about it for the moment. They'll be bringing in all different other blends at a later date. If you want to do any of these tipsy blends, I'm not a fan of that kind of animation personally. I find that really visually unsettling. But you would just have to really go after all these cards to or NFTs again to create this. So you have to get all these base cards, and then a few fun cards, and then a few other base cards in place. So it's a base card that has a different I guess animation on it, and then there's a static base cards as well. So there's ways in which to level up. There's ways in which to push the envelope. And see if I want to say get a manipulation. What do I need? So I need 4 of these. So it's strategy. It's really looking at strategy, then going, okay, what else do I need to do? So that's GNOME series. This is the gameplay. This is the dynamics of it. You can see it's just a growing base of players. They're adding on to it, and right now we're just on when there's most of the other people are off. That's the recording portion of it. But nonetheless, if you look through the battles and if you go through your own storyboard, or I should say your own homepage of where you are in the level, you can basically see your own performance. And as I said, mine's just been disastrous so far. So I hope this has been entertaining. I hope it's given you a bit more insight in the whole GNOME series and what's yet to come. There's more happening down the line as the game evolves, and it's in beta. This is still in beta, so it has its little glitches, and the team has been really quick at resolving all of the issues. So if you do have any questions and anything of that sort, definitely hit me up. Let me know. Check out the Discord channel as well. Another community that's really supportive of the gameplay. And it's early. It's like I said, it's only 2 weeks old, and we have yet to see where it heads. And hopefully by next time, I have a bit more wins than I do losses. So until then, folks, take care and have yourself a good one. Stay safe. Okay, bye.